The vast sea, a journey to peace. As we begin this journey, let us close our eyes and imagine ourselves standing on the shore of a vast sea. The air is filled with a salty tang that tickles our nostrils. The sound of the waves crashing against the shore is like a rhythmic lullaby, a song that has been playing since the beginning of time. The sea stretches out before us, an endless expanse of blue. It seems to merge with the sky at the horizon, creating a seamless tapestry of color. The sun is high in the sky, casting a warm, golden glow over the water. The light dances on the waves, creating a million sparkles that seem to wink at us in invitation. We take a step forward, feeling the soft sand give way beneath our feet. It's like walking on a warm, yielding cushion. The grains sift through our toes, a gentle massage that grounds us in this moment. As we get closer to the water, the waves reach out to us, lapping at our ankles with a cool caress. The power of the sea is both awe-inspiring and calming. The waves roll in, one after another, with a force that could be intimidating, but instead, it has a hypnotic effect. We watch as they build up, gathering strength from the deep, and then crash onto the shore. Each crash is like a release, a letting go of pent-up energy. It's as if the sea is teaching us that we too can let go of our stress, our worries, and our fears. We stand there, letting the waves wash over our feet. The cool water is a shock at first, but then it becomes a welcome relief. It cools our skin and seems to seep into our very souls, washing away the heat of our daily lives. The ebb and flow of the water is like the rhythm of life itself. There are times of action, when the waves come crashing in, and times of rest, when the water retreats back to the sea. As we look out across the ocean, we can't help but feel small in the face of its vastness. But this smallness is not a feeling of insignificance. Instead, it's a reminder that we are part of something much bigger. The sea has been here for eons, and it will be here long after we are gone. It has witnessed the rise and fall of civilizations, the joys and sorrows of countless beings. And yet, it remains, a constant presence of power and peace. The sea is a healer. It has a way of making us forget our troubles. The gentle breeze that blows off the water caresses our faces, carrying with it a sense of freedom. It ruffles our hair and whispers secrets in our ears. We can't quite make out the words, but we know they are words of comfort. We sit down on the sand, still within reach of the waves. The sand is warm against our skin, and we dig our fingers into it, feeling its coarseness. We make little mounds and let the waves wash them away, a simple act of play that takes us back to our childhood. In this moment, time seems to stand still. There are no deadlines, no to-do lists, just the sea and us. The colors of the sea are constantly changing. In the shallows, it's a clear turquoise, so transparent that we can see the sand and the little fish darting about. As it gets deeper, the color turns to a darker blue, a mystery waiting to be explored. The sea is full of life, from the tiniest plankton to the mightiest whales. It's a world within a world, a place of wonder and beauty. We lie back on the sand, our eyes still fixed on the sea. The sky above is a perfect blue, dotted with fluffy white clouds. The clouds seem to be in a race, slowly drifting across the sky. We watch as they change shape, from a fluffy bunny to a majestic dragon. It's like a sky-born circus, a show put on just for us. The sound of the seagulls overhead adds to the symphony of the sea. Their cries are like a call to adventure, a reminder that there is a whole world out there waiting to be discovered. But for now, we are content to stay here, on this beach, in the embrace of the sea. As the sun begins to set, the sky is painted with hues of orange, pink, and purple. The sea reflects these colors, creating a mirror image of the sky's beauty. The waves seem to glow in the fading light, and the whole scene is like a painting come to life. It's a moment of pure magic, a time when the world seems to hold its breath. The sunset over the sea is a reminder that every day is a cycle. There is a beginning and an end, and in between, there are countless opportunities for beauty and peace. As the last rays of the sun disappear below the horizon, the stars begin to twinkle in the sky. The sea becomes a dark expanse, but it still holds a certain allure. We can hear the waves more clearly in the darkness. They seem to be speaking to us in a different language, a language of the night. The sound is deeper, more mysterious, and it draws us in. We feel a sense of peace that we haven't felt in a long time. It's as if the sea has wrapped us in a blanket of calm, protecting us from the chaos of the outside world. We stay there for a while longer, just listening to the waves and looking at the stars. The Milky Way stretches across the sky, a band of light that seems to connect us to the infinite. The sea and the sky are one in this moment, a union of peace and wonder. Finally, as the night deepens, we get up and make our way back from the shore. But the memory of the sea stays with us. It has become a part of us, a place of healing and peace that we can return to in our minds whenever we need it. The vast sea has given us a gift of tranquility and a new perspective on life. We know that no matter what challenges we face in life, we can always think of the sea. We can remember the power of its waves, the beauty of its colors, and the calm of its shores. And in that remembrance, we will find the strength to face whatever comes our way. The sea is always there, waiting for us, a vast expanse of peace and possibility.